Hey everyone, how's it going? My name is Jay and welcome to the channel and welcome back to Tacano Emergent Biopark in Jurassic World Evolution, a project where we're aiming to build a biologically accurate dinosaur park and preserve with the use of mods in Jurassic World Evolution. In today's video, we are going to be building a habitat for one of my personal favorite dinosaurs of all time, the Dinochirus. If that does sound good to you and if you like today's video, please do consider leaving a like on the video, and of course, do comment down below if you have suggestions for future episodes. Now with that all out of the way, let's talk about today's episode. So like I said, we're going to be including a Dinochirus and we're going to be placing it in a very swampy environment because that's most likely what it would have lived in. The mod itself is fantastic. It was made initially by Zach and works on the Spinosaurus rig, but it's been made into a new species by Maxley and I think with an icon by Luca. So it's been a bit of a collaborative effort there. But of course originally by Zach, and it's just an incredibly fascinating dinosaur, one of my favorites. And the thing is, anyone who kind of was born in the 90s or earlier and had loads of dinosaur books growing up will absolutely know about this dinosaur, because for the longest time all we had were its arms, and there were these massive arms with these huge claws, and it was always in these dinosaur books being like, ooh, what do these claws belong to? No one knows. They're massive. They're scary. You know, must have been a giant super predator of some kind. But everyone was always just like, this isn't such a crazy thing that we only have the arms for this. And then the late 2000s, I believe 2013 or something like that, they actually discovered more specimens and they finally had a skull. They finally had a body. And this thing was just weirder than anyone could have imagined. It was so bizarre, and I think if you've watched the channel long enough, you know that's why I love it as well. I love the weird animals, the ones that just, you think they don't make sense, but somehow they do, and it's just really, really cool. So this guy, Dinochirus, is actually an ornithomimosaur. So that includes that's a family that includes things like Ornithomimus, Truthiomimus, and those dinosaurs, of course, are a little bit more famous. You will have seen them being like predator fodder for the most part in like documentaries in Jurassic Park with the Gallimimus, all sorts of things like that. But this was essentially a massive version of one, and not just for Ornithomimosaurus. This is massive for theropods in general. This is a huge animal. It like tops out at like 11 meters long, which is big. That's the size of like large tyrannosaurs, which it actually shared the habitat with. It would have shared a habitat with Tarbosaurus, which is of course a very large Asian tyrannosaurid. Some people believe that, well, taxonomy is a very complicated thing anyways, but people think Tarbosaurus might be just Tyrannosaurus, but you know, an Asian subspecies, etc, etc. But yeah, they found bite marks attributed to Tarbosaurus on Dinochirus, so that's really cool. It also shared its habitat probably with things like Therizinosaurus, which is another incredibly weird dinosaur with those giant arms. But yeah, Dinochirus is just bizarre even for Ornithomimosaurus because it had this big hump as well on its back and it had a very duck-like bill, which is probably, you know, like kind of figured for its kind of probably wetland-like lifestyle where it would have eaten more, you know, water plants, fish, that sort of thing. But yeah, incredible animal. Such an incredible species in general, and would have lived in deltas, I think, which is why this habitat here that you will have seen on screen is very delta-like. It will be very swampy with a lot of these prehistoric ferns, most of them by Danny Bob, and a lot of these long reeds as well. And I think once I place them in there, they look so good and so happy in there. And while the video is quite short, I just wanted to talk as much as I could about this animal because one of the coolest dinosaurs out there. And it's definitely probably like, so I have a tattoo of a Spinosaurus on my right arm, a Spinosaurus skull. And I've been thinking of getting more of dinosaurs that I really enjoy. And I might get a Dinochirus skull at some point because it's just incredible. But yeah, anyways, I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit about these animals because, oh my god, incredible, incredible creatures. In fact, this entire area of the world, like which would have been around Mongolia, that kind of region back in the Cretaceous, all sorts of like strange animals there, and some really famous ones too. Things like Velociraptor were around, might not have been exactly the same time, but in that region, giant oviraptors like Gigantoraptor would have been around. You know, such crazy creatures back then. So definitely one of the more interesting regions of the world to have visited in the past. If I ever got the chance, that is definitely up there, along with like Cretaceous, North Africa and stuff like that. But yeah, we're pretty much finished here. So I will see you all in the live play in just a second. See you then. So here we are in the game itself, and as you can see, this is our Dinochirus habitat, and I have to say I'm really happy with it. This might actually be one of my favorite habitats that I've done so far, mainly because I'm really pleased with how the theming kind of turned out. I think it looked really swampy and really prehistoric, and I think it all just fits really well together. The long grass, which is all part of Danny Bob's terrain stuff, I believe, works so well in this habitat, and I think it looks so good. I like the rock formation in the middle. I think it acts as a nice centerpiece. And of course, the Dinochirus seem to fit pretty well in here in terms of size and scale of the habitat. Fits well for them. The redwoods as well work well as kind of cypressy. Not any specific species of tree, but they work as like a, to provide that kind of cypressy Everglades kind of vibe. So looks quite cool in my opinion. And I love these trees as well, which I believe are also by Danny Bob. Great pieces of work here. Very, very prehistoric, and I love that vibe. It's so cool. And it's overall really pleased with this. One thing I've been loving to doing this whole park is using the invisible fish feeder, which I believe Zach made, to just create ponds with fish in them, which I think looks really nice. And when the Dinochirus eat from it, it just looks like they're fishing from a pond, which I think looks so good. And yeah, not much else to say actually about this episode, but I thought we'll just go on a little look at the Dinochirus and then maybe have a look at the rest of the park. I think they look stunning. So, those of you might know that there was a different version of the Dinochirus originally on the Nexus by Zach, which replaced the Acrocanthosaurus. It was a bit more upright, wasn't as heavily feathered. It still looked great, and I was going to use that initially, but now with this feathered version, there is no competition. This, I think, works so much better. Of course, it can eat fish now thanks to it being on the Spinosaurus rig. The feathers on the arm and tail are some of the best I've seen in the game. So beautiful, so clean and well defined. Honestly, that texturing is brilliant. And the tail and the arms just look so good. I love that. This skin as well, I love the vibrancy in the red. Which is really weird. This is actually the base skin and this is the vibrant skin, but it's not really particularly vibrant. But it works to act as maybe like a female skin and a male skin, so I think they look really good together. And walking through the long grass like that, so good. Love it. Great vibes and a really nice habitat, I think, for one of my favorite dinosaurs. Dinochirus has always long been one of my favorites, and I'm very glad to give it a nice little habitat here. Hopefully in the future, if we ever get a sequel to this game and stuff, maybe it'll be part of the base roster. That would be pretty cool. I just think Dinochirus should really be in more media. It's such a fascinating creature and worth putting out on the big screen, or the small screen, or in games or in books and stuff. Really, it's just an absolute oddity and a magnificent dinosaur. So I think absolutely deserving of more fame. Anyways, let's have a look at where the park is. Oh, also, I made a tiny little cave here, which I think looks really cute. Really nice little area here for them to rest if they wanted to. And if you look through the viewing area here, I think you get a nice view with the rock formation dead center, and then you can see them walking around. Over here, of course, these were our concavenator habitats, and I believe this was for the Ichthyovenator, or Ichthyovenator. Don't know where it is. There it is. These are one of the earlier ones, and I still love this. One of my favorite mods for sure. Beautiful coloration, beautiful work overall. Great animal. And down here, the raptor habitats. Actually, no, we do have an Tyrannosaur habitat. I completely forgot about that. Really like it. And again, one more thing I noticed is that all the dinosaurs within this, section here, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 habitats now, all feature, sail or humped back dinosaurs, because the Dinochirus does have a hump as well. So it's just interesting. I never really planned for that to happen, but it just kind of happened, and I like the theming, so we're going to keep it that way. Down here, of course, we have the raptors, and once again, loving the feathering on these animals. I think this was digital ducks work, and really well-defined feathers as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing more of that sort of stuff. There are a couple other new, recent mods anyways, not super new, but with feathers, like the Tyrannus. So You might see that in the park at some point. What's over here? One of the concavenators. Yes, this is the Jagged Fang Designs concavinator. Beautiful. And up here, I believe we have the LA Studios concavinator, which will be hanging out somewhere. If I can find them. There's one. Again, beautiful. I love these ones. They really do feel like different subspecies of the same animal, which I think looks really cool. The Despledosaurus down here, which are actually one of the few animals that still replaces existing animals. Really cool to have them there anyways. Still very happy. And the Deinonychus over here, which looks really good again. Very fast actually. Really, really fast. Beautiful though. And the park is really filling out nicely. One thing I want to do is I want to find something small to fit in here. So we'll see what we can do with that. Maybe some more along the lakeside, of course. This is the Dinochirus habitat last time. And maybe something along here as well. But I don't know how I'd get guests to view it. We're running out of space over here. One more thing over here would be quite nice. Maybe you can find another hump or sail-backed dinosaur. I mean, there are plenty of those. Oh, maybe I could even do a non-dinosaur. There are Dimetrodons on the Nexus, so maybe I'll get one of those. That could be pretty cool, I think. But yeah, anyways, that's pretty much it for this episode. I think I should put in a shop here if I can. That would be pretty cool. Let's see if I can do that now. Hotel far too large. Maybe a gift shop? Oh no, I think I remember why there's nothing. Oh wait, no, that works. Okay, I thought initially that this might just be too. Let's see if we can do something about that, and maybe, yeah, maybe flatten this out a bit without damaging the path too much, and seeing what we can put here. Maybe a restaurant or a clothes shop, because the space is big enough for one of those. I think I really like this clothes shop. Oh, okay, there we go. So it can actually fit here. So what I'm gonna do is actually do it like this. Oh, apologies for that. Could you hear that? That was so I actually live right next to a train station. Not just any train station. I live right next to the busiest train station in all of Europe, Clapham Junction. So you can hear the trains so easily. So yeah, apologies for that. Anyways, let's place this down right here. That works. Delete this fence here, and we'll just connect this up here. The path, and then we'll put this down. Okay, and maybe even a nice little curve here. And while I'm at it, I'll just line up the whole thing, make it look a bit more even. Okay, and this goes here, and because we got some empty space here, let's put in a little bit of foliage. I usually like to put in some sand to get rid of the darker thing there. And let's see what we can place. I don't know if we can actually place any foliage in here, it might not let me. Oh, sorry for minimizing that briefly. Okay, there we go, it's back up. And let's see what we can do here. Any tree fit? Nope, it's got building constraints. So what I might do instead is just go with the forest tool, because those usually give us some plants. Look at all these little macaws, so cute. I always loved that detail in Jurassic World Evolution. Okay, it seems like we might be stuck for actually getting any foliage here. So what I might do is just turn it into a bit of a garden then, with lots of different flowers and plants. And then I'll think of something else to give it some more interest. But yeah, no, I think it looks alright regardless. I hope. Yeah, I think that's fine. And then maybe, let's have a look actually in the scenery once again. Maybe one of the smaller things will fit. Let's see. These ferns do not fit at all. So maybe one of these dudes? Oh, there we go. There we go. We're getting somewhere with this. Nowhere else, I don't think. But let's see if some of the smaller decorations will actually fit in here. Some of these ones, maybe? Nope. Let's see. The rocks do tend to fit in most places, so let's see if they fit. Oh, there we go. There's some space up here. Oh, over there. It's not quite to my taste with the symmetry, so I might leave it as it is right there, and instead I will just put in a little path that goes down here, or maybe just halfway too eventually. Actually, how's about that? It doesn't look great actually. I'll get rid of that, and I'll make this maybe even shorter actually. How's about that? If I go straight across, and then that isn't actually straight across, is it? Well, you know what? That's as good as it's gonna get. I'll figure out something to make it look nice, but I think that looks pretty okay. We've got a little restaurant up here, fills in the space a bit more nicely, and we can put in some foliage around here to just fill up the space. In fact, some nice thick trees would be nice, and I'll give us some shade as well. I think that looks quite nice. Overlooks the Dinochirus habitat. Nice and chill place, and you can also look at whatever animals are in here, which are the velociraptors, I believe? Yes, they are. Okay, well, that's it for today's episode. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed learning a bit of the Dinochirus and, just enjoy watching the habitat build in general. Please do leave requests down below for what you'd like to see next on the channel, in terms of dinosaurs or other creatures you'd like me to talk about or include in the park. So, yeah, I'm just very open to suggestions. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. Leave a like on the video if you did like it. Do subscribe for Jurassic World Evolution content every Friday at 5 PM UK time, and of course Planet Zoo content as well at Wednesdays 5 PM UK time. And as always, I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!